This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it. How to identify and avoid publishing predators. What opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms. How to avoid losing money and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by AuthorU and the Book Shepherd. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Well, top of the day to all of you. I always think of fall time, which is when this one first airs, as a kind of a time to do the planning for the end of the year, but also do a regrouping of what works, what doesn't work, where can we go from here, what can we do to enhance what you're doing. And one of the things that has really surfaced during this year 2018 is that for moving out books, for getting the attention of potential readers, buyers, etc., the two things that you really have to be working on is one, Pinterest, and the other is Instagram. And most people think of Instagram as just picture with a gazillion hashtags. Yep, you have to have images on Instagram. And you can use like 20 hashtags, which is very cool to use. Pinterest is also all about images. And it can have linking over, and both of them can have linking over to content, to ideas. People are looking for really time when they're on Pinterest. They're looking for actually spending some time. They're perusing, they're browsing, they're voyeurs, they're looking for a variety of things. And here's what we found about the two. They are the number 1 and 2 sellers of books now for authors. So we're going to be looking at and really exploring, and it's just me alone, Judith Briles, the Book Shepherd, with you today to look at what Instagram is and what it's all about. And it's my confession, I was late to the game. It's not that I didn't have an account, but, I'm doing a lot of stuff, just like you're doing a lot of stuff. And I really didn't have the time to diddle around with taking a bunch of pictures. Well, I kind of had a come to book marketing session with myself and really took a look at material that I had, because you know what? Instagram is a powerhouse to repurpose anything that you have already done, anything that you have out there already that you can continue to move and shout out with a new title and with a gazillion hashtags. So we're going to talk about Instagram and book marketing and how it can move and make connections and followers. Now, I'm sitting with a bundle, and I'm talking a bundle, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posters that I've made over the years. I have a whole set of posters for every day of the week, goofy posters. For whether it's potato chip day or celebrate taco day or, something like that. One of my favorite always comes up in the first week of January. It's get rid of your fruitcake day. All right. So I have all those. So they're already done. I don't have to think about them again. All I can do is add the hashtags to them, and I'll have my virtual assistant do that. So I've mentioned hashtags several times, and I want you all to write down this website, hashtagify.me. Hashtagify.me. And this is going to allow you to go up and do searching in a nanosecond for the most popular hashtags for what your theme, your topic, your expertise is, or the target marketing you're trying to get to. So hashtagify.me. Take advantage of that. It's HASH, TAG, tag, IFY. Hashtagify.me. Take advantage of this. I would be checking into it at least once a month. to see if there's anything current, anything coming along. It lets you know the numbers that people are looking at. For example, because I write in publishing, related book publishing, authors, I would always be using hashtag authors, hashtag author, hashtag books, hashtag book, hashtag publishing, hashtag self-publishing, hashtag book marketing, hashtag self-pub, hashtag I am writing, those kind of things. Those would be common things to the people I'm reaching out to, like you, who are authors or authors to be or interested in book marketing, are going to be in that market. So those might be something that you would go into in a hashtag search to see, hey, what's new, what's popping, what's out there. All right. So hashtags are essential for Instagram. So don't let that go. And also, you can bombard with them, overload with them, which is the very hot thing to do. All right. So let's start with just kind of the marketing and setting up. Your profile has to be set up. You go to Instagram.com. and you set it up. And this also, fall time's a good time for you to take a look at all your social media profiles. Does it say the right thing? How about just rearranging a couple of words in it so it has a little freshness to it? And make sure that you have the right profile pictures. I know that I'm changing one of my Facebook banners here today, and that just a little image. In fact, we've made a decision. We're going to do this every quarter, every season. We'll come in with a new type of banner to go across. Be kind of a little fun, kind of spruce it up, and do that kind of thing. All right, so make sure that you have the right words, ties in with your expertise, your theme. All the social media profiles have limitations of what you can use. So for Instagram, they have so many character accounts that you can use in there. Get your picture up there. Make sure it's always nice if it looks like you. And the right contact. And here's one other thing I want to do, is really shout this out to all of you with the privacy issues. And a few weeks ago, I did a podcast with an IRS agent who also does, the free side of what's going on. And the alarm that she put out, that Abby put out, dealt with the pictures and identity theft that's going on. And the dates, because they all ask for your birth date. So I'm going to tell you to make one up. Do not use your real birth date. Maybe use your birth month, but maybe make it the first. And for a year, I was kidding my daughters that I was going to roll back, so they're going to have to roll back their ages too. But then I decided, with a lot of this hacking that goes on, that maybe it's better to look really older. Maybe add on 20, even 30 years to your birth date. Then when people say, man, she looks great for 92. Play around here. But you can only change once, right? And I'm just telling you, for identity theft, this is where the bad people are going. The social media to verify picture. They can scan your picture. They can get your birth date. It shows up so easily. And let's not help them. All right. So that's kind of an insider tip to share with you. All right. So let's start off with you've got your profile up on Instagram. You're hot. You're ready to go. We're going to start going through some marketing tips. And as you know, Facebook is one of the first places most places start on social media. So you want to make sure that those profiles are all together. You've got the right pixel size and all that. And then Instagram is going to have the same thing that you need. And if you're going to do any ads, you've got to know certainly about that in the area. For Instagram, it's the gorilla of social media images. And there's ideal sizes that might be, obvious and not so obvious. So for starters, on your profile picture, it should be 110 by 110 pixels. That's the ideal size. It will be perfectly centered as they crop, because they put a circle around your profile picture. They all do different stuff. So Instagram likes the circle thing on it. And for your posting and your any kind of ads that you're going to put out, your image dimensions, they're looking at square posts here. And that you're thinking about the size here now blows up. and thinking of a 1080, 1080 by 1080. That's for the square. For oblong post, and that's like a portrait or a landscape, either way, 1080 by 1350 pixels. All right, and then if you're going to do any kind of ads, those are duplicate dimensions. So 1080 by 1080 for square, those are pixels, and for oblong, either portrait or landscape, it's going to be 1080 by 1350 pixels. All right, so that'll get you in the right size, and then you start adding your storyline, your content to it. And you can post stories. Now, there is your phone, which is where most people post up. I'm talking about for you to, let's think big here. Let's start building an inventory of stuff. I've already done a share that I've got a gazillion posters. I have sayings. I have one of my favorite books, and I hope you all get Snappy, Sassy, Salty, Wise Words for Authors and Writers. It's like a gift book to yourself. It's really a very upgraded, small gift side, hardback, the ribbon in it, vectored pages, all kinds of neat things. But it's got 250 of my own personal quotes in it. All right, we've taken each one of those quotes and put them on a poster. I use Canva to make my posters. Put them on a poster, and you can, there's free and fee. Hey, I'm all for free if you can do free. And that when you do the free side, that you come in and you will come in and put it all together, and then you can add a tagline to it. You can add a little saying of your own. I would really encourage you to get your copyright with your name, or if you have a name like I'm the Book Shepherd, I always copyright the Book Shepherd. And you can imprint it, embed it, so when people share it, guess what? You go with it as you push it out, and you have that. And that's really, I can't stress that enough. That's very important to have as you set this up. So I've got, every day of the week, 365, I've got also the season things. I've got special days, from whether it's Father's Days, Mother's Days, Christmas, Hanukkah, Easter, you fill in the blank. I've got those special days. Sometimes there's special celebrations. That's the start. With that, we'll be right back. Lots of information on Instagram, Judith Briles.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Is there a book in you or another? AuthorU will show you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, you'll find a supportive and brainstorming community that's connected and creative no matter where you live. AuthorU brings in national experts for its book camps and annual author extravaganza held each May. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through AuthorU's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. The Resource, its online book publishing news magazine, is content-heavy and it's free. If you want to create a book that has pizzazz, punch, and panache, AuthorU is for you. If you're a hobbyist or a casual author, it's not. Join AuthorU today through its website at AuthorU.org. Follow AuthorU on Twitter at AuthorU and on Facebook at AuthorU, where timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted daily. AuthorU, where the author goes to become seriously successful.
First impressions are everything in the world of book publishing. Whether your book is an ebook, a print version, or both, your book cover needs to pop, sizzle, and sparkle to immediately capture the attention of your audience. And your book's interior needs to be just as dynamic and reflect the professionalism your readers demand. Nick Sellinger of NZ Graphics has won numerous national and international book awards for his cover designs and interior layouts. With over 20 years of experience in graphic design, he knows what it takes to create award-winning books and the many promotional pieces that authors need, such as posters, banners, postcards, one-sheets, business cards, logos, and more. Visit ncgraphics.com and see what authors and publishers have to say about their award-winning books and how NZ Graphics can make your book the success it was meant to be. That's nzgraphics.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Hi, we're talking Instagram today, and I always say that publishing is a business. As an author, you're in a business. So think about profiling what you do. It's just not sharing snapshots. It's just not sharing photos. It's not sharing quotes that I was talking about before our break. It's really about how to optimize your profile for your business, which is authoring and selling books. So you want to make a really strong first impression, and as well as add branding to your profile page as soon as people see it. And you want to have a good visual for it. So we're looking for ways that you can do that. So I mentioned photos on the last segment. You want to use a photo that ties in with your branding. And that you bring it about. So it could be like I have one of my clients is a photographer. So you can guess that what he might have with him that would show by his photo a camera. So he does professional photography. And tie it in, and this is maybe where you could do it yourself, or you could ask someone that specializes in like logo creation to put together that brand logo that's instantly recognizable and ties in with your profile. It's having a logo is the easiest solution. Like, I'm the book shepherd, and we have a logo that ties across. We have within our logo is a book, and it has, we used to call it, we still do, the seedy guy, but there's a seed that comes out of it that's growing. You can see a couple of leaves come. So ideas grow with that. And think of this as the way you're, both an entrepreneur, but you're an influencer, and you can start using this everywhere on that. And you can just really push it out. If you were a dancer, and you have a book on dancing, but you have this love of dancing, or maybe you have a studio of dancing, that's kind of an easy visual to do. But anything, whether it's gardening, dancing, photography, whether it's painting, that has something that ties into what you're about. If it's about leadership, you can create images around leadership. One of my clients, Connie Chicago, creates, she has a wonderful, the Woman's Almanac, the Wise Woman's Almanac, and it deals with health and fabulous recipes. And this morning, I got her newsletter, her blog, that came out that had seasonal, it's fall time, all these recipes in it. And she's created a logo that includes all the seasons in it. So you instantly know this is Connie coming. This is, and then she has a tagline with it. And if you've got a tagline, which I always recommend you create, you would add in it. But it would be something like, Susan Smith tells stories, blah, 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 blah. And you want to have, or reveal stories, or reveals tips, or you could have expert Susan Smith. You could have cooking expert Susan Smith. Start getting in the adjective that describes you and what you do, and then provides tips on blah, blah, blah. And by the way, this is stuff that you can duplicate easily on Pinterest on these things, right? Next, you want to make sure that in this descriptor, as I was mentioning profiles earlier, that you've got at least one key word, better yet, two. that people will, when they're looking for things, because they go up and do a search, and think how you do searching when you go on Google or any of the search engines, aren't you going to start with a keyword that will start narrowing down where you're going so you don't get on the wrong track? So you want to ensure that people can find you. Make sure that your name that you share on Instagram is in fact your name, not an Instagram username, because that could be your sign-in name. So use your name that's going to be searched in, and I want you to make sure that if your website's in your name, that you use that. But in addition, if you have another tagline, so I'm going to go back to my own website, it is thebookshepherd.com. But if you put in Briles.com, or if you put in JudithBriles.com or drjudithbriles.com, it is all going to be directed to the Book Shepherd. All right? Now, because Instagram users also search for keywords, putting a keyword in the name will literally triple your searchability score. And if your username, that's why your username might not have that keyword in it, people can still find you very quickly on that. So use keywords for your name. Think about the target keywords that your potential followers might use to find, whether it's inspirational quotes, it could be cool hashtags, or even your location. Like, people know I'm located in Colorado. So you might want to have based in Colorado, based in New York, based in blah, blah, blah. What it does is it narrows it down in. So if you were to do that, then if you want to illustrate that, if you want to attract an audience based in a certain location, like your city, your state, your country, you would add that word right next to your name. So they could type in and find the names of people in that certain location. And that's how people think, that's how they look for stuff in that. Now, if you were, like I'm a book coach, I would have book coach, book consultant. And then I think what's really important for you to go into the keyword searches. I use keyword spy. Another one is keywords everywhere, and that's the Google big search that you can go in and find out the number of times that people are doing a search month. So that would be keyword spy. Make sure you click on keywords because they have like 4 choices when you first go on the website, and keywords everywhere, and words is plural with that. So go in, and if you're upline, it's time for you to do some profiling and maybe some makeovers to what you have in that, and have that. All right. So the next thing is, and since we're on keywords, is make sure that you target that within your overall description, not only by your name, but now reinforce it, double up here. Remember, triple searches to clarify what kind of content people are going to find in your contact. And this is where you reveal tips, how-tos, whatever kind of phrases that you're going to do, whether you're, it could be travel ideas, lifestyle ideas. I mean, who knows? Because all of you are going to be a little bit different. You want to take advantage. Instagram has a new feature that enables you to add hashtags and profile links in your bio. How cool is that? So, if for me, book coach, hashtag book coach. All right. So those are the kind of things that you want to start looking for. So remember, Instagram, you can OD with hashtags on that and use that. And if you're going to use your username, make sure you use the @ sign, @ symbol in front of it. So you bring it all together and you really spiff it up a little bit. Now, another smart thing to do, if you're going to make an image, because I'm assuming, please, that you put images in your blog, and you're going to take that image and maybe do a little, a couple of keywords on it to do the push out. It says that you're going to do a little citation, that you've got a hot new blog with blah, blah, blah on it, that you want a CTA or a call to action with it. It wants its users to stay on the platform The places where you can put URLs that drive audience to external domains are really, really limited. However, and this is a however, driving traffic and measuring your website clicks are important Instagram metrics for business. So it's kind of like a dual edge here. So if you have, say 1,000 followers, you can put a link in stories in this feature and drive traffic from there. But this tactic obviously doesn't work for really smaller accounts. You got to have a lot of followers and start really building them out. So that should be kind of a guide, a goal for you to reach forward, so you have those as you go along. And to add a URL to your bio in the profile, you click the Edit Profile button and add your URL internally within that. And then the last thing I want to tell you, that if you're going to put a call to action, which I think is a good idea, to get my latest blogs, go to, and then you would have that. That's your call to action. To get my latest blogs is, the latest news in publishing, to get the latest travel tips, that's where you would put your URL. That's the call to action. So do that in your bio, right? Now, you want to use what they call line breaks or emojis, custom fonts to fine-tune your bio. This is where you can, really bump it in and have a little fun with it. And, you might want to put a lightning bolt if you have a call to action, lightning bolts around it. So those are emojis. And then you could have a little fun and bring those in. Or if you're a travel person, you could have boats, and you could have airplanes, and you could have choo-choo trains, and you could have all these kind of things that it's just different types of eye candy that comes together. And they can just be in black and white, or you can add a little color and have some fun in it. So take advantage. Those are a way to really perk it up. And then it's make sure that you have the right category that you put yourself into. So understand if you go into the business side of it, you've got your page, it's going to have your category. Make sure that you pick the right one that fits who you are, what you want to promote, and emulate to your potential followers, because your goal is to create super fans. All right, this is Judith Briles. I'm your book shepherd, and we'll be right back.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Want to publish like a pro today? Well, then take a look at Ingram Spark, the only publishing platform that offers print and ebook services through a single source. Upload, edit, and manage titles all in one place. Take more control of printing costs with print on demand, and reach even more readers through one of the world's most extensive distribution networks. Built by independent publishers for independent publishers, Ingram Spark has everything you need to maximize your book's potential: color printing, ebook distribution, print on demand, global reach, and more. Start publishing with Ingram Spark today and see just how far your titles will go tomorrow. That's ingramspark.com.
Many of us have dreamed of writing a book.
Some of us even have.
Then the hard work starts.
You'll need an editor.
Who will design the cover or typeset the pages?
Who will format the ebook?
If you're a business owner, consultant, or coach with a serious message and expertise to share, the team of experts at 1106 Design can guide you through the maze.
They've helped more than 1,000 authors create top-quality books and avoid the not-so-reputable self-publishing companies.
Learn more at 1106design.com.
Then call Michelle at 602-866-3226. 1106 Design.
Ned Thompson and Harry Shore started Thompson Shore in 1972, they believed employees with great character would make up the best company. They were right. They hired people who were not only experts in bookmaking, but who were obsessed with quality and delivering exceptional customer service. Almost 40 years later, Thompson Shore remains a 100% employee-owned company. Ned and Harry knew that successful customer projects are a direct result of empowered employees. We specialize in all books for large and small publishers. Creating beautiful and well-made books, we're dedicated to pleasing our customers by making the experience a good one from start to finish. The personal touch we have with our customers allows us to be innovative in solving their most difficult challenges. Our platform also ensures that we can remain flexible to meet our customers' unique needs and expectations. Our marketing kit can create buzz for your title, enhancing the promotion of your book during infancy. When you need to test the market to gauge your future sales, we can provide digitally printed books that will transition seamlessly into a larger offset run. From ebook to hard copy to delivery, our skillful customer service teams are at the ready to answer your most pressing question. At Thompson Shore, we know that making the highest quality books requires more than just best technologies. It requires superior customer service, professionalism to the trade, and commitment to environmental and social values. With these standards of excellence in place, you can be sure that we will always help you put your best book forward.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, Instagram. I am really going to be focusing on building up my Instagram through this last quarter of the year and certainly through 2019. It's one of the things that our team is really going to be looking at. So I do events. Now, you may not do events. You might do book signings, but you certainly have a book and you want to sell it. That's kind of an event. But how do you create story type ads that you can push them out? In other words, how can you advertise as well as just put up pictures on Instagram? And how will they help your business? So one of the things that I suggested, and I'm going to throw this out to all of you, is that I want you, have you done, not a search, let's not call them competitors, how about comparables? Who are the comparable authors in your arena? That whether if you write fiction and you now dive down into the different genres, which there are a gazillion of them in the fiction, who are the leaders? Who are selling the most books? Okay, so let's do a comparable. If you like, and then blah, 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 you need to discover your name. If you are a fan of, become a fan of. And you're going to just think of this as like a horizontal, a landscape posting where you have the author's name, maybe one of their titles behind them, kind of in a faded area. And then you have your book and you do it. So I would do them in, use pop out. You're going to have your font pop out. This is where Canva is really hot to use. And you don't need to complicate it because you're dropping in images, and you're not dinging anyone. If you're a fan of, if you love, if you like, and discover, use find the right adjectives that fit with what you're doing, and it's you, okay? That's going to become an ad. That becomes your ad for your business, which is selling books, right? Now, so you're going to make those, and it's really a great way to start roping people in. So you can just go on, Amazon, and you're going to go to Amazon, and you're going to go into all your categories and see what the leading sellers are, and you're just going to copy their book covers, and you're going to drop them in because you are actually promoting them as well. Win-win. I love win-win. And then win is that you may discover new fans in that. And when you make these, you can do, certainly when you push them out on Pinterest, you can embed your book page on Amazon or wherever you want to guide them to, that if they click on it, bang, they're in there and they can buy the book. How cool is that? All right, so this is where your ads. So we're talking Instagram here. So it lets businesses of all sizes, that means us one-person ponies, seamlessly integrate full screen ads to a really highly targeted, identified, a gazillion hashtag type audience. Do you like that idea? I do too. So in this, you want to do, here's a few ways. So they call them story ads on Instagram, and they will appear above the user Instagram feed. So they pop them right up. They're available for viewing for 24 hours. So you're talking quick, short, bang, 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 bang. So you're going to have instant variations all the time. You're going to have to do reposting. But this is something that could be a huge payoff to you. And they will appear between stories from the two different users whom you follow. So they kind of get filtered out, even cooler. So for mobile placement only, they don't show up on desktops. So this is what people would see on their phones. Is that important? Yep, it is, because so many people are just using their mobiles for shopping. Huge, 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 huge. And I will admit, I have certain images that instantly grow if I'm trying to get something, because isn't shopping sometimes impulse buys that I can get to? And that's how people are going. You know, I see it, I need this, bang, good idea, get it, and they're out and they go about their business. All right, so this is who you are appealing to do this. The ads are seamlessly integrated into the overall Instagram platform, which is good. And they are labeled as sponsored, but the text is so teeny, I'm talking teeny weeny, that many users are likely not even to notice that it's so-called sponsored for that. I mean, you're talking very, very small. And it would come out, for example, if it came from you, I use Susan Smith, so we're going to stay with it, Susan Smith. And maybe Susan Smith is what is she? Susan Smith Travel. So it could be Susan Smith Travel, and right underneath her name, kind of in a faded, it would say sponsored. All right, that's what the ad looks like. And then you have your big image of whatever it is it's taking out. The biggest disadvantage, though, is that ads are truly disappearing, i.e., goodbye, 24 hours, they're gone. So, and the stories that are connected with them. So they can't go back and watch them again. So that's why they have to be visually grab. They have to be visually a grabber. So make sure your content, whatever you have, is engaging. Is there some kind of a visual or a verbal CTA, call to action, that is interesting enough, it will stick in their mind to make some kind of an impact on there. So this is where large is good. Use clear, large branding because users can't go back to them later on if they think about it tomorrow, unless you've got another new one up. So, I was a kid that was, when we used to go on car trips, not very often, but they had the old the Burma shave billboards on the roadside, and there was one after another, after another, after another. They were all different. Same kind of concept. You would make a series of ads that would pop like each day, so you have full impact. They have variations. So it could be a different quote. It could be maybe you have a just off the wall killer quote that you're tagged with, or a different image. And you keep going and I would use the same, if you're doing verbiage, I would make sure I had the same logo type image. So that's what you're impacting into their brain that goes along. You want to keep it simple. Very important. Remember, users aren't going to rewind here to watch story ads. Once they pop, they're going to move on. So they're going to see it basically once, but it is up for 24 hours. But on their feed, it may come up only once. Keep it simple. So don't make it teeny. Take advantage of the full screen and move it there. So you're driving your brand. You're the author. That's part of your brand. What else is tied to that? And your product awareness, that means your book. That's the product. Or it could be an event you have. It could be an online course you have. It could be a program you have. What? All right, so you have those kind of things. And you call that. And you want to make sure that you get creative. So it's really where you want to be here. So that makes it exciting. For me, it's exciting to think that I can make very simplified ads to move it forward with that. Now, do you need to have a special tool to create these little babies? And that they have, well, guess what? Instagram has an app for it. And if you have the Instagram business account, which is, like the business page off of Facebook, they have their business account. You can create promotions with the Instagram app that's just right there, and take advantage of that. So that's very cool to have, and move it to there. And then you can, and it gives you all kinds of things for where you can tie in your how to buy, whether it's PayPal, MasterCard, etc. You have the ability, once you're inside using that tool, to do amazing things in that part. So I think that's important to use. Now, the other thing is that is it working? So how do you check out whether Instagram is for you? Well, there are multiple analytics on that. So once you set up your account, then you can get the Instagram, what they call Instagram Insights, and you can just check out how many posts, how many followers, how many following, the click-throughs that you can really look at. So you can take that, and you want to have certainly look at Instagram's on. There's also something called Social Bakers, CIAL Bakers, Bakers. They'll give you a free report. You just put in your data for that. And then there's a few other ones. Simply Measured is another tool. It comes from Sprout Social that you can take advantage of. And there's always going to be more analytics out there. Union Metrics is one. But the bottom line is you do want to check in to see what's available and how you're doing. All right, we're going to take our final break, and I'm going to come back and talk about how to do live video on Instagram.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and a guide to partner with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand, and is a financial success, a bestseller. It's your choice. You choose. You need the book shepherd. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You don't need problems. You want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and the chaos. At times, she's had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher or by a publishing service provider or sometimes even the author themselves. Judith Briles is the book shepherd if you want to create a book with no regrets. Give her a call today. 303-885-2207. That's 303-885-2207. Or email her at judith@briles.com. By the way, Briles is spelled B-R-I-L-E-S. Follow Judith on Twitter at My Book Shepherd and on Facebook at The Book Shepherd.
One of the most important decisions you will ever make is your choice for printing your book. You are choosing a company which will be responsible for guiding you through the process and printing your book at a level of quality and detail that embraces your personal and creative needs. You want to choose a company that when your book finally arrives, you are delighted and ready to move on to the next level, and one that is customer focused. Choose King Printing Company and Addy Books to be that company that brings you to the next level. Go to kingprinting.com or call 978-458-2345 and ask for Tom Campbell.
At Total Printing Systems, customer service is our priority. We are located in Southern Illinois. Our employees have an average of 18 years experience and know that customer relationships are important to our continued success. We have been a short-run book printer for nearly 40 years and always stay at the forefront of technology. Our niche is from 1 to 5,000 copies. Today, we offer digital, black and white, and 4-color high-speed inkjet printing, a cost-effective way to introduce color into your short-run titles. We, of course, offer traditional offset printing as well. Bindery is done in-house, from adhesive case binding to PUR perfect binding to mechanical binding of all types, including side sewing. We provide warehousing, kitting, distribution, inventory management, a new print-on-demand facility, streaming browser-based ebooks, and bookstore. Call us at 1-800-465-5200 for a quote on your next book project. You can also visit our website at www.tps1.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Before I hit the final portion I want to talk about on this show, which was the live video, which I think could be very hot for you, is let me come back on the analytics. I would probably stick with the Instagram Insights, and that's INSIGHTS. But here's a couple of things you want to look for. You want to be able to calculate the conversions to see where you might be losing prospects. Oh, we don't want to lose anybody. So that you can start doing comparisons. You can go from, week to week, month to month, eventually quarter to quarter, year to year. But if you want to see what's moving things or where do you want to redirect, so you start looking at what the conversions are. How many people saw it? How many people started following you? How many people contacted, which means hot, and how many people purchased? So that will all be, you can be laying that with your ad format. And those are the 4 stages of a regular sales funnel. So remember, saw your ad, started following you. So saw is cold. They started following you. That makes them, they're getting fuzzy warm. They contacted you, sizzling hot, and purchase, zap, that's lovely. All right, but so you can start seeing the numbers and seeing what your ratios are and calculating it, and then maybe start doing some fine-tuning in that area. So that would be on your conversion. Next, you want to determine your follower growth rate to kind of benchmark what your growth goals are. And everyone has different growth goals. How many posts do you put up? How many followers do you currently have? And then what do you want to grow to? And you could do that month by month, quarter by quarter. Do what works for you. To me, there's no true formulas. It's like when someone says, "Oh, you got to get up every morning at 4 o'clock and write for 3 hours before the kids go off." No, that may not work for you. You could be a night owl. For me, getting up at 4 in the morning is kind of like what I do. So, but I don't do writing. I'm doing other stuff and getting ready for the day. I may be writing blogs and stuff, but I'm not doing my personal writing. I'm getting stuff set up so I can move into other things I'm doing. And it could be because I'm meeting with clients all day. All right, so you want to look at what your goals, set some goals, and what you want to see your growth rate for your followers expanding to on a monthly, quarterly, whatever works for you. Next, you want to monitor is there any kind of engagement? And here's what's cool about engagement. You can start knowing what the sentiment is. You start getting feedback, real actual feedback, which is really important to start having. Are you resonating with what you're putting out? From your posts, your ads, fill in the bank. If do they love your photos? Are they making extra comments on it? Are they resharing with that kind of things? That all is what you're looking for. And then lastly, you want to be able to track any click-through rate, and see whether they're referring out and actually and doing it. Now, make sure that you monitor your hashtag popularity. That's going to help with what you're doing here. And that it could be what's hot in hashtags this month may not be next month. So there's certainly standards. Like when we started this program 50 minutes ago, that I mentioned, I always use publishing. I always use authors. I always use books. Those are standard. But like when I put out this show, I will put hashtag Instagram in it to add on to do expansion. That makes sense? If it's really that kind of thing has a common sense attitude that you can come up and bring it together. So, live video. So how do you do it? How do you go live on Instagram if you're interested in that? And they have their own little live video, like certainly Facebook has it. And really why? Well, it allows you to create media that appears at the top of your followers' news feeds for 24 hours again, kind of like the ad. Okay. Now it goes at the top of your followers. See, this is what's cool. So if you've got 1,000 followers, bang, you live are at the top, because the Instagram newsfeed is now controlled by the dreaded algorithms. And it's very similar to Facebook. And of course, Facebook owns Instagram. That's why there's the commonality there. But you want to keep your Instagram story fresh, can help you stay at the top of their Instagram app. And I think this is where it could be the most powerful. Now, I'm just setting up to start. We'll start doing this. I've got I do actually a live TV spot for my own show, which I'd love to have you join me at noontime on Mondays. And that'll be noon Mountain Time. So if it's East Coast time, it's 2:00. If it's Pacific time, it's 11 o'clock. But people can, tag in questions. I usually lead with a couple of tips. Sometimes people will email me with questions that I'll do the lead on. This is the same kind of thing that you can do here. So Instagram is a natural. If this is a thing you have to kind of get in the habit, but that you can maybe kind of want to announce that you're going to be posting, you're going to be live, and you can just come on. But you come on, and it just automatically is on the followers, which is very, very cool. So I love this idea. And if they haven't turned off, now here's what you have to know. If your followers haven't turned off live notifications, they will automatically get a message when you're live. Again, how cool is that? So anyone who wants to be in the now with you, and that will want to hop on and watch while you're live. Hopefully they'll engage with you while you're live, because live videos will disappear after you end the broadcast. On the viewer's end, Instagram will, be your face. So what you're doing is your camera's got to be on. I have to tell you, I've seen more people, because I'll do sometimes face-to-face on my mobile, that they don't think, or they don't realize they don't have to hold their phone underneath their mouth to hear it. They can hold it eyeball. So they have to be trained that we don't need to see their noses on that. They don't need to see your nose or anything like that. Do it, get a close, nice picture front of you, and you'll see that they can start sending back different emojis saying they like what they hear, tell me more, all kinds of things. when you're on. But I think this is a great tool. So to start an instant live broadcast, all you have to do is tap on your story profile photo, and it'll have the plus sign next to it. And it's going to be at the very top of your Instagram news feed. Or if you scroll down your news feed and don't see that bar anymore, just tap on the camera icon at the top left of your Instagram screen, and voila, you're there. So it takes you to the stories, and then you have three options: live, normal, or boomerang. Right? Live means it'll disappear as the broadcast ends. Normal is just a photo or video will disappear in 24 hours. Boomerang is you can set up, oh my gosh, a time-lapse like video created for a burst of photos. Now, that's going to be an experiment thing. You have to see how that works. So you want to make sure, go back, before you start this, and I would experiment a little bit knowing that you're going to have hiccups. I mean, I certainly, before I started the Facebook Live, I had hiccups. The things wouldn't go. It would, I'd get different times, or I can do it by myself, or I can have a guest on. And sometimes the guest, and you have to use Chrome on Facebook. I don't know if it's the same on Instagram, but you know what? I'm going to think could be. So if you're going in on your computer, you might want to do that. If you try it, but I would, why just do it on your mobile? That's what Instagram was set up to do in the first place. Make sure all your settings are in order. This is why you're going to have to experiment a tad. And make sure that your camera is pointing the right way, like at you. So make sure that you start when you tap on the icon to the right of your start live video camera. That could do a flip another way. Now you could, if you wanted to show other things, that's the way you flip it. So you can have your face, and then you can move it around in that area. And then you're ready to go, voila, go live. So you can manage, there's ways to manage it. They've got taps that can show you. And again, you're gonna have boo-boos as you go along, but you will learn it, and people know that they're learning with you. So first of all, I would try to keep it simple. Don't try to do a lot of gizmos and gadgets, and keep it short, by the way. Keep it short. This is just short. Maybe you have a hot tip for the day. And then when you're ready to end it, you just tap the end button, and that's it. So, all right, that's a mini course in Instagram. But I think it's really a hot tip tool. That, along with Pinterest, will really increase your book sales. So with that, I'm Judith Briles. I'm your book shepherd. Keep writing, keep publishing, and here's to your author success.
Thank you for being a part of Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. Each